I was 12 years old when I first heard this song come onto the television. You might have heard it before. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You guys know what that is? You're really there. This isn't television, really. Okay? So let's try this again. You guys know what that is? Hail to the Chief, right? And when do they play Hail to the Chief? When the President of the United States comes on the stage. 12 years old, little boy, watching the television. Everybody jumps to their feet as this song starts to play. And I'm thinking, I gotta have that job. That's my job. I'm gonna have that job when I grow up. So I started doing my homework, started doing my research, see what has to happen in order to become President of the United States. College came around. I had the opportunity to apply to work at the White House. I'm thinking that's the next step. If I'm gonna live there, I might as well check out the decorating, right? So I applied to work at the White House, and I remember the day that I got the envelope. Have you ever had a piece of mail come to you that could determine the rest of your life, or at least have a major impact on your life? Raise your hand if you ever had a piece of mail that could mean a lot to you, right? And it said, "Congratulations, Sean Stevenson. You've been selected to work alongside of the President of the United States. You will be reporting for duty in 2 months. We look forward to seeing you." One step closer to that childhood dream of becoming President of the United States. I remember the first day I entered into the White House. Let me take you back to that moment. I'm going up and down the halls. I'm thinking to myself, John F. Kennedy walked these halls. Abraham Lincoln walked these halls. And I looked around and I thought, I'd probably move that painting a little bit over there, but whatever, that's fine. And there was something extra special that I loved about working at the White House. What I loved about working about the White House is when the president would come home from being overseas, he didn't show up in an SUV or a minivan like you and I would coming home from work. No, he shows up in a gigantic helicopter. One of these helicopters, it's the size of a school bus, and it's dark green, and it's got a bright white stripe at the top, and a big American flag on the back with 2 giant propellers, and you can hear this thing coming for miles. So I thought, you know what? I got a brilliant idea. I'm gonna be in the backyard when the president comes home from work. What bad could happen? Don't get ahead of me. So I looked at my schedule. I looked at the president's schedule. I lined him up so that I was running the errand right at the right time when he was gonna be coming home. I had my errand under my arm. I heard the helicopter. I set out on my journey. I got to the South Lawn. If you've ever been to the White House, the South Lawn is where the president lands his helicopter. And I get to the doors, but they're closed. And I'm thinking, I gotta get through these doors. There's a 12-year-old boy inside of me, and he's all giggly, and he's thinking he's gotta be outside. I hear the helicopter coming. I'm thinking, you're a smart dude. Sean, you can do this. You can use physics. Momentum, 45 pounds of love. We can bust through these doors. So I'm looking at the doors closed. I'm thinking like an athlete, like, what? You got nothing on me? I start pumping myself up, and I'm getting myself ready, and then I take off, and then bam, these doors open up. I'm thinking I'm in the clear, right? No. There's a thing called wind from the helicopter, and it's blowing me back into the White House. And I'm like, oh no! And I'm fighting the wind, and I'm pushing against the screen, and I'm finally outside, and the door closes, and I'm a little frazzled at this point, and I'm outside, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, that wasn't that bad. Have you ever been through something major, and then you calm down? And you look around at everybody and you're like, what? I'm fine. That's where I was. And so all of a sudden, the helicopter is landing. I'm thinking I'm in the clear. And then out of the corner of my left eye, I see something. One of the trees is moving in a different direction than all the others. And I look a little closer, and I see 12 men in all black military fatigue coming down ropes, running at me with giant machine guns. Well, I'm glad you think that's funny. I'm looking down at my chest, and I'm seeing little red laser dots. I'm thinking to myself, that's not good. I'm looking at these guards. Now, they are called Emergency Response Team. I had already foiled the Secret Service, and I was with the last resort to protect the president. And that was the Emergency Response Team. They are running at me, the helicopter door. I'm thinking, I got to get to the helicopter. The president knows me. These guys don't know me. I'm looking. Now, if you guys aren't very perceptive, I can't really run. So, but that day something just jumped inside of me. I looked at the helicopter, I looked at the guys, and I took off. I was like, ah! And I'm heading towards this helicopter. And finally, the door swings open. The president steps out confidently. He looks me directly in the eyes. I think to myself, you better have a vision. You better have a vision for what you want in your life. Everyone in here, you faced closed doors. You felt the pressure of people running you down. You've wondered secretly, as achievers that you are, can I do this? Can I really make this work? Is this for me? Think about the games that you play in your mind when what you want doesn't come easily. Start talking yourself out of it sometimes. Like, well, maybe the doors are closed because I'm not supposed to have it. Maybe it's not in the cards for me. People chasing you down and you think, oh, maybe somebody else is supposed to have this, not me. I have made it through my life because I have had clear visions for what I want. We all share two things in common. Let's do an activity. You guys ready for an activity? Okay, raise your hand if you've ever been happy. You don't have to be happy right now, okay? Put your hands down. Raise your hand if you've ever been sad. Okay, put your hands down. Raise your hand if you think you're sexy. Why did I catch some of you looking around for approval? Seriously, it was like, am I sexy? Should I raise my hand? We all share two things in common. The first is we all have emotions. Repeat after me. We all have emotions. We do. Barring neurological dysfunction, where they may still be there just out of sight, we all have emotions. The reason why I feel so connected to you, the reason why I can love you and not have a reason, it's because I've wept over graves just like you have. And I've been sick to my stomach thinking, does this person love me or not? And I've been afraid, am I going to make the bills this month? And I've wondered, is this ailment going to heal up? And I've worried, does this person care about me? I've been sad, scared, lonely, felt rejected, been in love. You and I have that together. And yet I am not on this stage, nor any stage for the past 13 years to tell you I know what you're going through. I don't have a clue what you're going through. I didn't grow up with your parents. I didn't live in your hometown, more than likely. I didn't have your specific education, nor do I live in your body. I'm not an expert on you. I am an expert on only one thing, and that's how to be me, and I do it well. I love being me. Thank you. I love being me because I work hard at this. I work hard at making this look easy. My condition is not easy, and I'll explain more about that in a minute. And the second is a very dark force. It's a very negative force. It's a force that causes us to play small in life. This one force keeps us from going after our dreams, keeps us from having amazing love, keeps us from having an abundance of money. It is the size of our butt, our B-U-T, our excuses. But I don't have the time, Sean. The energy, Sean, the resources, Sean. Anytime you are saying, but I don't have the, you're stuck on your butt excuse. The second but that we're dealing with that keeps us playing small, keeps us from rocking this planet, is our butt fears. You might want to jot this down. Our butt fears, and that is always starts with, but what if? But what if I fail? But what if I look bad? But what if I let others down? And our last but, it's our biggest but. It is the but that I am committed to eradicating from this planet, and that is our but insecurities. And that always starts off with, but I'm not. But I'm not tall enough, Sean. But I'm not pretty enough, Sean. But I'm not smart enough, Sean. Believing that you weren't born whole and complete is the most destructive belief on the planet. I'm gonna let you in on a couple secrets. I love my body. Oh, I don't just accept it. I don't just, this is what I gotta deal with. Hello, I love this. Why? Because I can do things you can't. I can go places. I can create an impact that other people have to spike their hair and fall into a tackle box with the number of piercings just to be remembered. I just roll into a room. And that is a gift. That is something that gives me an advantage. You have to get off your butt if you are going to rock this planet. But here's what happens with our butts. Oh, we are so proud of our butts. Their butts get so big and they're cushy and they get us out of stuff. Oh, Sean, I'd love to do that, but... But I can't do that. But I don't, I'd love to buy your book. I'd love to come to your seminar, Sean, but I'd love to spend some time with you, Sean, and get to know. Oh, but I'm fine the way I am. And when you sit back on your butt, you begin to atrophy. And the paradox to life is the longer you sit on your butt, the weaker you become. And the paradox is you can still see what you want. You can still see the partner you want to be doing business with, the partner you want to be dating. You can still see the great families that exist out there that you'd like to have. You just don't have the strength to get up and go after what you want. And I don't want that for you. I don't want that for any of you. There's only one way to get off your butt. How do we get off our butt in life? What do we have to do? We have to stand up. We have to take a stand. You have to take a stand in your life. You have to take a stand for your health. You have to take a stand for your prosperity. And you have to take a stand for your relationships, and more specifically of why we are here, why Greg brought me to this stage, why you are hearing my voice in this moment, is you have to take a stand for the planet. You will tap into an energy that will trump any amount of caffeine when you finally wake up to the realization the world needs you. I need you to live out your vision, because it all comes back to me. It all comes back to all of us. So there I am, White House South Lawn. The helicopter is landing. The president steps out. He looks at me and he says, "Sean, good to see you, buddy." He steps down out of that helicopter. He walks towards me. He says, "Sean, would you like me to bring you into the White House today?" I said, "Oh, that would be an honor, Mr. President." The President of the United States starts wheeling me into the White House. Now, this whole time, my superior was in the top window, banging on the window. "Sean, no!" I said, "Mr. President, that's my boss." And he went, "Hey, buddy." And as the president started wheeling me in, the doors, as if by magic, opened, and I heard a song being played. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.